Rosey, I would love to hear about what you have been doing here at Tompkins to create such a fantastic program. I admire this program so much. And as we were talking earlier, you were telling me about that this seems to be a really special year for you with this group. So let's talk about what ingredients have mixed together to make this so successful.
Well, and as any dance director, you're going to have highs and lows from year to year, and this year is a definite high. And we have a small team of 31 this year, but they are all in. And that is actually the motto this year for our football team, is all in. And it's so appropriate because these 31 young ladies have invested 100% of themselves to be all in. And I rarely see every single girl investing themselves in each other and continuing to encourage each other across the floor in technique and rooting for each other. It is.
You know what I think is beautiful, what you're saying, is it had nothing to do with, I mean, yes, you're talking about doing technique, but it's their relationships, yes, connections between one student to the next that's probably making this so special.
It is. And they, from sophomores to seniors alike, they sit around and talk, and you don't see the cliques sitting in small groups. You don't see that, which is...
Rosey, that's everybody's officer tryout answer. I want to get rid of the cliques. You have managed to do it. Oh my gosh, we've got to get you... we need to get you a prize.
It's special. And, the girls, just a couple Fridays ago, they were doing stuff across the floor, and they were cheering so much for each other and clapping for each other that my assistant and I literally just started crying watching them do technique. And when they finished, I said, "Y'all are my dream team," and I just lost it. And they all ran over, and we were all hugging, and they do it because they feel it.
You feel it right now. I feel it right now. Yeah.
And it's just really magical, and it's going to be a wonderful year.
Okay, so we were visiting earlier about how you pulled this group together, and that you said you did something a little different from what you'd done in the years past, and it has absolutely nothing to do with what you're doing with the kids, but when you were doing things with the kids.
So, for the first time in my career, I decided to do a fall audition instead of a spring audition. Normally I would wait till after spring show, and we finished for the entire year. And so we just decided, let's do a fall audition. And I know a lot of the schools in our district do a fall audition, so we do a late November, right before Thanksgiving. And I tell you what, those girls who made the team for the following year, having them as one group in a class in the spring, really, I think, has made a big difference. They came onto the team already bonded with each other and just so excited. They are fun, they're goofy, and they have brought an energy that I don't think we've had coming in a baby class before.
What is the ratio? How many brand new ones?
Out of my 31, we have 18.
So it's a good half.
It's half.
It's a good half. Yeah. So it was really an excellent time.
It was.
If you were going to have that big a replacement
we lost
group.
18 seniors last year.
Wow.
So losing a big senior class, and then we brought in 18 little babies. It's been great.
Well, and I love that you were talking about how during the fall, they auditioned in the fall, they had the spring semester, and they did compete. So let's talk a little bit about how they competed, but you didn't put them in a full competition mode.
So they started the class in January when we came back from the new year, and we continued with our technique and our training, but we also taught them one competition piece.
Just one.
And they competed at 2 contests, and they went with us to all 3 of our competitions, and they would help with our props and our curtains, and so they got some hands-on training what it would look like for the following year to be a part of the dance team, the varsity dance team, but they were doing so while getting to not have to be so involved just with their one dance, and they loved it, and they did really, really well, and we competed them as a JV team, but they just had the one dance that they competed.
I think it's wonderful that you had them doing the props and the curtains and that type of thing, because then they have a different level of appreciation for what it takes and seeing it. Now, just as a matter of interest, you were also telling me that during the fall there was a JV program.
So we just started currently this year. So
Okay,
last year
that's
we
this
did not,
year.
yes. So
This
last
is
year
this
we
year.
did not have the JV team. This is our first year to have a JV team. There is no audition. They sign up for it in course selections, and it is the JV class period. And they are called our Crimson Pride JV dance team.
Cute.
And we have 52 young ladies on the JV dance team. And so it is just a fall only team, and they will dance at all of the home JV football games. And so we practice in class. They're doing technique in class. We're working on the dances. They only have 2 dances that they're performing for the 4 games. They have learned stand routines. They've learned how to do a pregame. So
they're getting all the basics out of the way.
The basics out of the way. So we're hoping that this helps with the, going into auditions in the late fall, that they've already had a lot of prep for what would be, what would it take to be on a varsity dance team. Very, very small little piece of that.
But that nothing like giving them the real experience,
right,
for them to realize how much work it really will be.
A lot of these young ladies have never even been to a football game.
Right.
Until they're on dance team. So having them experience that as freshmen, they won't be going into their sophomore, junior, or senior year with saying, "This is my first game."
Right.
So they've already had that experience.
Yeah, the world is different, isn't it? We were visiting earlier about our own upbringing, and we understood about high school sports and that type of thing. Well, that is wonderful. I think a lot of people are going to be asking you questions about that. So we'll keep this conversation open, because I bet a lot of people will want to know how much you did that.
That sounds great.